Admit all. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I have a cat that keeps opening my door. Excuse me.
Aitabe, am I pronouncing correct your name? Aitabe?
Aitabe.
Aitabe. Cynthia, welcome.
Welcome, welcome, beautiful souls. Aitabe, it's so good to see you. And Anka, Cynthia, we're waiting for a couple more, but we're just going to begin and they'll join us or get the replay. So we are recording. If later when we share, you don't want to be recorded, we can edit that out before sharing it with the other participants who may not be here. You can let us know how you feel about sharing, but it won't be publicly released. It's just for the registrants who signed up.
Okay. Yes, so maybe we begin.
Here's
then,
Constance. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Yeah,
welcome, Constance. Okay.
Welcome, Constance. We are recording, so if you're uncomfortable with the recording, in the moment I will be sharing later, we will open for sharing, then we'll edit that out. So, welcome everyone. Take a moment to just take a deep breath and come into your body as we come together to this beautiful circle today. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes as we open the sacred circle with a prayer and invocation. So I want to first thank Sekhmet for guiding and holding us to be here right now in this sacred container, in this moment, together with you. As I also thank the ancestors of the land where I stand, the foremothers and forefathers of the sacred land here in South Sinai in Egypt. I also thank the elemental beings of earth, fire, air, and water. I thank the grandmothers, the ancient grandmothers, they are holding and guiding us. And I ask them to also support us here today. And I ask also my ancestors to also hold this container as we dive within the feminine mysteries, the sacred mythos of Sekhmet.
We welcome each of you and all your ancestors and guides, all of us coming into this circle, many hands holding this space, weaving this magic together as we do in our lives with our communities, our families, our loved ones, and ignite this fire within us and illuminate the tapestry of remembrance, weaving across this whole world through all hearts and wombs and haras. So as we come here, I feel such gratitude for those of us showing up in our lives and here in this circle, carrying the torch, being true to our remembrance of who we are, of what feels right and true, connected to our soul, remembering our true nature. Such deep, deep gratitude for the work it takes in the world we live to build this bridge of remembrance for all of us to cross into a new dawn. Thank you, Sekhmet. Thank you all for showing up here.
Oh, that's good.
Welcome, Gabby. We just open the circle, just drop in for a moment and arrive as we continue.
So, beloved sisters, we're a bit curious to know how would I phrase this? Not what brought you here today, but we would love to hear if you want to share on the message box a word or a little bit more of your relationship with Sekhmet, or there is a word or something that called you today here to the space, or where you at on your journey with Sekhmet. Have you heard of her before? Please, Diana, remind me, am I forgetting something?
No, that's right. We're just where this activation is happening for you, right? The fire that burns within you, the passion for life, this fierce feminine, and how this Sekhmet energy or transmission or archetype or however you receive it may be playing out in your life right now. If you want to, as we go through this time together, at any time, share anything, just drop it in the chat if we're in the middle of something so that you don't want to forget what's coming through, and share it with us if you feel called to, because it can activate an aspect that maybe mirrors our own or is in the shadow of our own, and just we're weaving together this joining of torches.
And also, like, if you're not, doesn't need to be right now, yes, it can be later, throughout, and also for yourself, if you're not comfortable typing into the chat, maybe you can just have a piece of paper next to you just to write it down if something comes forward, because as we continue to journey with Sekhmet, I speak about Diana and I, or we've been journeying with Sekhmet I've been journeying, when I speak about myself, for a few years, and I like to say that the mystery is revealing itself. So it's not something that we know, it keeps revealing. So it's the same today, and it's the same for you. So maybe there is a piece of the mystery that will reveal to you. Maybe you don't want to share it with us, which is okay, but share with yourselves and make sure you write it down, because usually when we are in this space, we receive, and you might think that later we'll remember, but it might fade away after we leave this container. Yes.
But for this moment, before we get into more of the Sekhmet mythos, if you want to, we can go around and say one word that is the resonance that you feel in this moment. And as I drop into my womb and heart and tune in, taking a deep breath to really connect with that light inside me and open up to receive. I just feel this powerful, strong feminine presence that speaks of boundaries. So that's my word for this moment, boundaries. And if I may go around and name you in the circle and you feel like sharing your word, I invite you. I'll go around the circle on my screen. Next is Aitabe.
Thank you. I'm feeling fire coming in.
Thank you. Gabby.
For me, the word is independence.
Independence. Thank you. Constance, are you able to unmute and speak?
Yes. Sorry, I got up late. I got up late. I would say light. Like I feel a lot of light. Like a electric energy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Anka.
For me is deep passion and pleasure and underworld. And underworld.
And underworld. Deep, passionate pleasure and underworld. Thank you. Cynthia.
Okay, what fits in with my journey now are the aspects of destruction and healing.
Thank you.
For me, initiation. Initiation, yes.
Thank you all for sharing and weaving that. See, as we put these drops, these little flames together, I can feel the whole, right? There's all these facets of this diamond jewel. So we're going to go into some calling in the support of the Sekhmet with an incantation, and then we'll move into a bit of presentation talking about mythos and really pausing to receive transmission throughout.
So we invite you to close your eyes for a moment as I say this incantation to Sekhmet. Behold, I smell the earth before the mighty one. Behold how I kept the vigil in the shrine of Sekhmet. Behold, I am the child of Sekhmet, the lady of the East. I am with her, I am one with her. I am Sekhmet, and the flames of all those who praise her. I am the hand of the powerful goddess, wearer of the solar disk. I am twice beautiful one, more splendid than yesterday. I am she who goes forth with Ra. I am she. My hair is the hair of Sekhmet, the golden one. My eyes are the eyes of the lioness. My ears are the ears of the goddess. My nose is the nose of she who can sniff out all evil. My teeth are the fangs which can devour the darkness. My neck is the neck of the divine goddess. My hands are the hands with long claws. My forearms are the forearms of the mighty one. My backbone is golden and it shines with splendor. My chest is the chest of the mighty one of terror. My belly and back are the belly and back of Sekhmet. My buttocks are strong as the goddess. My hips and legs are the hips and legs of the goddess. My feet are the clawed feet of the lion goddess. There is no part of me that is not of the goddess. I am Sekhmet who come forth in the dawn. I am the power of Ra by day. I shall not be dragged back by my arms, and none shall lay violent hands upon me, lest I destroy them utterly. Neither man nor God shall hurt me, nor shall the living, nor shall the holy Dad detain me, nor shall the demons destroy me in battle, for I am Sekhmet, and I shall eat off their faces. I am she who come forth. I am yesterday, and I am the seer of million of years. I am the power of the divine judge. I dwell in the east. I am the lady of eternity, the unveiled one. My name is created to defy all evil. I am the flame that shineth in the sanctuary. I am Sekhmet. Just take a moment to feel your body and how does this words land in your body? How does it feel to receive the goddess, to connect with Sekhmet, to feel the flames of her power, her Sechem, just power. Just take a few more moments to breathe and feel in your body what parts of your body awaken, what parts of your body feel fear, what kind of emotions. Is there any images that come to mind? And then take this moment also to not only witness your body, but to perhaps speak to her or to let her know any intention you have for today, any wishes, not wishes, but any desires, any prayers you have in your heart wound that you would like her to know. Just taking a few breaths. as you commune with her. And then in your own time, just gently, when you feel ready, you can gently come back to opening your eyes. Remembering that you can share with us in the chat box in a moment. There's something that comes up. And please also let me know if it's visible. You can see. It's okay, Diana, it's visible?
Yes, yes, you can see. Thank you for that meditation and that invocation.
So I've been calling Sekhmet, Sekhmet, but some of my Egyptian friends here, they told me, like, why are you saying Sekhmet? It's not Sekhmet, it's Sekhmet. You have to make the, the Sekhmet. So it's a bit hard for me still to bring that. So if you find me a little sometimes saying Sekhmet and then Sekhmet, there's different pronunciations, but the proper way, I believe, is the guttural het, So she is, and please, Diana, you can interrupt, let's do this together, but she's a very interesting archetype or goddess. I love this particular image of her because you can see the power that comes through the image, with this amazing sun behind. But yet when you look at her and her face, there's so much softness in her eyes and in her facial expression. And this is Sekhmet. She's, first of all, Egypt is the land of paradoxes. In ancient Egypt, ancient Egyptian cosmology is very much based in paradoxes. And of course, Sekhmet wouldn't be different. So she is known as the lady of, the lady of duality, so she's the one who brings forth plagues, but she also has the healing for the plagues. So she is this duality that brings back union. So it's through this opposites that it comes the union, and she's the guardian of Ma'at. So Ma'at in ancient Egypt, it's a concept, it's a goddess, but it's also a concept, which is the concept of cosmic balance. So Sekhmet, she is the protector of Ma'at. So she will do whatever it's necessary to bring that balance. Want to say something, Diana?
Just in terms of guiding us in the resurrection of our feminine radiance, that is what has been out of balance, is that how that feminine radiance has been feared and suppressed and oppressed for generations, and how we are being called to awaken that within us, to heal that imbalance, to share that light of being seen in our full faceted radiance, which is why it's so beautiful to hear all of you name the different facets, because it awakens them and activates those codes within ourselves, within each other. And that's a call that she is, that the mythos is spreading across the world, illuminating, activating when we share our radiance in that place of balance and unconditional love, without harm to anyone. When we share our radiance without harm to anyone, it activates others beyond giving them permission, right? We feel the old paradigm is that we needed permission, but beyond that, to just shine as we are meant to, as many children know how to innately, as we did maybe before the programming of this schooling, of systems of oppression, of these economies of scarcity. So guiding us in the resurrection of our feminine radiance is like the gifts of Ra coming through, that she is sowing in our hearts, returning that balance.
Yes.
The law of Ma'at.
That's hard. Yes. Yes. And we always like to speak about this radiance because, as Diana said, it's a balanced radiance. It's not, I don't radiate because I want to take the light in the spotlight of others. I rate like the sun shines, for the pure pleasure of shining, but not to take space from the moon, for example, so when we do things, in balance and with the purpose of bringing balance, then, and this is a very individual thing, we all have to tune in with ourselves, it's something, am I radiating because I want to be loved and accepted, or I'm just radiating because I am, and this is what she invites, to just radiate because you are light, because you are beautiful, and that's the light that the world needs right now, precisely, not a fake light because, okay, let's not get into that, but the true inner light that comes from our inner flame, our inner sun, our soul. So yes, let me go to the next one. So she's the queen. Sorry, go ahead.
Even before we read any words, just as you look at this image, just take in the transmission, right, that came through her to the artist, through the artist. The qualities of her energy. What does that activate in your body, in the alignment of the channels of your light? Anka says it activates the sacral a lot. Yeah, right. This alignment of light, heart, crown, and this poise and grace. And you can see the fierce boundary, and you can also feel the loving gaze. Cynthia too is feeling that sacral. And in the ears, really to discern clearly right? Attuning to truth. So keep tuning in as Nicole continues sharing a little bit more. Just keep returning to the experience of what you're receiving directly from her, from Sekhmet. Sekhmet.
Requires a little bit of practice, especially when
does.
we've been saying Sekhmet all along. So she is the queen of the desert, and it's said that, you know, and I definitely experienced this past summer here in Sinai, because when it's very hot here, you know, the mountains absorb all the heat from the sun. So when the wind blows, you know, it's like a hot heat, a hot wind that comes. So she's, you know, she's that breath, that hot breath that comes into your neck. So she's definitely present, you know, very, very much present here. So she's the queen of the desert. She's Sekhem, which is powerful, which is power. The word will go a little more about that later. But she is the one before whom evil trembles. She is the mistress of moon blood mysteries. She's the queen of the desert and of serpents and dragons. She who sublime one, she who mouths, great one of magic and healing. Your mysteries are deep as the vast cosmic ocean of bliss, devouring all that is not love with compassion. I must say, not only with compassion, but, you know, the energy, at least the way I've experienced her, it's not such as, you know, comfort. It comforts, but it's a very initiatory process. You know, it's not as it can be gentle, but usually not. You know, Isis is way more gentle, and, you know, she kind of embraces you with her, you know, swan wings. But Sekhmet, she will initiate you with the fire, so it's a little bit more intense initiation, but with a lot of compassion, for sure.
Yes, compassion to enable you to step into your own power, rather than this coddling, which is wonderful. We need that suckling, you know, at our mother's breasts energy too. But to activate that fire, she pushes us a little bit.
Yes, yes. And because at this time, more than ever, we must come into our power, our soft power, and we must sit in the throne of our being, our heart womb, and reclaim the queendom, the feminine queendom of our wisdom. We can't, I don't want to say there's no time, but yeah, it's the moment, it's now. So she's the queen of Kemet, beloved teacher and lady of all powers. She's regal in her sovereignty, fiercey mother and guardian of Ma'at. So, okay, here we are. So she's very, you know, her wisdom, it's very, or her mythos is very unknown. So I love to say, we love to say this, and it continues to reveal to us, because her mysteries was very alchemical related, you know. So when it comes to Isis or Hathor or Bastet, you know, there's a lot of information of their you know, temples and initiations and the kind of teachings that the priestess and priests used to, or high priest and priestess used to receive. But when it comes to Sekhmet, there is nothing much written about it because he was so mysterious that no one could speak about it. So in our communion with her, to me has become clear that her mysteries are very womb related, you know, like sexual mysteries, sexual alchemical mysteries, and therefore this wasn't spoken about it. It was something that it was kept secret because of the kind of wisdom that it contained. So I cannot read what you guys wrote, but it makes a lot of sense feeling this sacrum, you know, and sacrum or
Sacral, yeah, chakra,
Yeah.
also the heart.
Yes.
And also I want to share that she, you know, in this context is why when we work with people, we encourage you to make that individual connection yourself, to feel the transmissions yourself, and that direct gnosis of these activations. And one of the feelings, you know, the visions I've had is of her just coming like a comet and landing fiercely upon the desert, you know, with the reactive wave of this fierce solar boundaried energy, both to obliterate and you know, the unlight, but also to activate the light within and infuse really with the seed of this liquid light germinating on this earth, bringing this solar power and this sacred union of that solar, lunar, feminine, masculine in the solar energy onto this earth, into our wombs, into our heart, this real like germination of this power, and knocking down just sort of like, this is not okay to any energy that refuses to allow this light to shine from within. So as a protector of the light.
Okay. So yeah, let's just let you kind of drink a little bit from this image and receive the insights in this aspect of her.
So as we talked about this balance of feminine and masculine solar light and these sacred flames of our inner solar feminine, this allows us to speak with our true voice from a power that lives within us and flows through us. I really feel the throat chakra activated here with the crown, adding to the heart and sacral and the blood mysteries of the red rivers, to menstruate, whether we are still menstruating or not, to menstruate. This is the process we're in, menstruating all that is not serving to fertilize the earth with new life. Blessings of the blood Anka. And stepping into the power to speak of our truth. Because it is the truth for not just ourselves, but when we speak, we speak for others who have not yet found their voice, and we allow them, we clear a path for them. Offer a little gratitude in this moment. I'm feeling to offer a little gratitude for that to Sekhmet.
So she blesses us with the Ankh on the right, which is the sacred key of life, and that infinite union of the heart and womb, cosmos and earth. So, and then on the left, she has the scepter. I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly. So she's the queen of the Nile, blessing and inviting us to resurrect the primordial waters of the great womb and all the mysteries that we each one of us carry. You know, the mysteries of our lineages and then the resurrection of life in fresh vegetation, you know, so that beautiful green, you know, the greening of the deserts, the greening of the earth. And then again, as I mentioned before, you know, she's holding that womb mysteries, keys and alchemical womb mysteries. So we ask her to continue to bless us, you know, so we may continue to remember and resurrect, you know, the wisdom that lives inside of us, inside of our blood, inside of our lineages, and knowing that we are connected through this womb field. So as Diana said before, we speak up because we have the voice to, so we know that as I speak up, you know, I weave that, you know, right to speak into the fabric of reality, making it possible maybe for another women that, you know, couldn't speak before. So it's, we must remember that each one of us play a major role into the shifts that we want to see in the world. So my voice is your voice, my healing is your healing. So, so
Sometimes, so we finish?
Yes, yes.
Sometimes she's seen, instead of this scepter, holding a papyrus frond, representing that greening of the Nile, that really lushness that comes from the flooding of those womb waters, fertilizing the desert and the greening of the lands and the nourishment of the body of that land and the body, our bodies, the bodies of the people of the land.
I think that's the next image. Yes. So again,
this fertility, this sexual energy that regenerates life. She brings that forward unabashedly, shamelessly, resurrecting all those parts of us that have been wounded in past generations, been canceled even. Just take a moment again to tune into your body, your Ka body, your luminous body, as you gaze upon this image and what transmission you receive. It is our divine feminine power that heals and restores balance, heals sickness and plagues and devastation, barren landscapes with our blood, our tears, our sweat, our songs.
Yes. So she is, I love this image because you can see how I love this word unabashedly. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but unapologetically, in her sexual power, in her kundalini, because that's what Sekhmet means, power. It means this feminine force, this kundalini, this life force that brings and restores cosmic justice, restores ma'at, come what may. So, you see here, she has this red dress, that reveals a lot, and then it falls down, which makes me think of that moon blood, that flows down, descending down back to the earth. And then the papyrus plant, in her left hand, blossoming, the greening of the earth, which I must say that, it's something that I feel it's happening here, in the desert. It has rained already 3 times this year, which is not really, it doesn't happen so often. So some of the things that are written, we spoke already, so I'm just gonna kind of move on. But she's, also a relational goddess that it's guiding us again for this restoration of Ma'at, this cosmic justice, cosmic balance. And, she radiate her solar power to bring equality, freedom, and to liberate us from the immature competitive codes, patriarchy, paradigms, to a conscious concrete co-creation through mature collaborative creation between our inner and outer selves, as well as our relationships, including the divine feminine and the divine masculine with each other and all life on earth. So she will definitely illuminate what it needs to be, what it needs to come to light, and this is on the individual level as well as in the collective level. So, as we continue our journey today, just keep coming back to your body and keep noticing what things come, what thoughts, and write it down, share with us if you feel comfortable, or write it down for yourself. What is it that you're, what should I illuminate for you today that you're ready to begin this alchemization process, so you can be more into in your second, in your power.
Yeah, lean into the sensations of your body and your energy body and your psychic abilities, your perceptive abilities. And in regards to this inner alchemy that is happening, she invites this connection with the masculine crown, and mirrored in our body. Below is our feminine crown, our yoni. She invites, just the way this papyrus opens up, invites our yoni to blossom open and menstruate and release all the imprints of harm and constriction, contraction that have been placed there, either in our lifetime or others, or through experience, all this contraction, so that as we bloom, we open and activate these energy centers to ignite and open the channels then of our heart and womb in this looping, spiraling figure eight, rising, flowing in all directions, this life force Kundalini energy that allows our voice to then open, right? So there's balancing and harmonizing and clearing of our temple, our hollow bone, our vessel, so that we can be filled and illuminated, filled with the light and the sensual ecstasy of being a soul in a mortal body, to feel all the sensations that we can feel and perceive, right? The feminine sensations we feel in our groin, in our loins, in our womb, our breasts, and all that we can perceive with our third eye, our feminine third eye, and connect to the light with our crown. Just, we are spiritual beings that can connect to each other in much deeper and vaster ways than has been allowed to be seen. So as we step into this power, we use it responsibly with love, by menstruating all that does not serve love. And we can call upon Sekhmet to teach us how to honor these boundaries for ourselves.
Yes, and we
To
can
open these
also,
gateways.
sorry,
Yes, to open these gateways.
and we can also ask her to help us to also release any fears we might have around embodying our power, and we always like to say soft power, just to remember that it's a power that it can be fiercey, but it's also soft. So many of us might hold back from embracing and embodying the power out of fear, due to memories from past lives or ancestral memories or whatever. So we can also pray to her and ask her to guide us in alchemizing those memories, and transforming, what was shadow into light. So we might, sit a little bit more into that throne, and allow more of that second to come forward. So let's move this. Let's see, this is two different aspects of her. Again, holding the papyrus and the aim. Just feeling and tuning into this more compassionate mother.
She has so much love for life, for all life. When we attune to that vibration, we can do no harm. Even as we speak our truth, right? The boundaries are where We do not need to feel guilty for speaking our truth, for speaking our boundaries, whereas in past generations, we have been perhaps made small and allowed ourselves to close our voice, close our power in order to take care of others. This is different. This is bring that power forth, speak the truth, love unconditionally, right? That sacred anger that Gabby mentioned, a fertilizing destruction. It's compassionate for ourselves, being a mother to ourselves, obliterating any programs of guilt for speaking truthfully, and being responsible. Maybe there's no need to speak it sometimes. We just know our truth and can stand in our power. So discernment is nourished. So she has
Yes.
many aspects, as we do.
Yes. And we're gonna talk a little bit after about this triple aspect of Sekhmet. So just here, let's just take another moment to receive from these images, you know, knowing that she's birthing beauty out of chaos. And she paves with a flaming red river that resurrects the primordial nature of life to nourish our mind, body, spirit, our families, and our community. So, yeah. So, yeah, this is another beautiful aspect of her.
I love this image. It really speaks to that solar energy, that crown empowering the voice, the throat chakra, the high heart, truth seer, just penetrating clarity. Truth speaker, and connecting to these energies to embody your healer, your inner healer, to see where the balm of unconditional love is needed. The loving gaze, the kind word, the truth, the true mirror, mirroring someone else's beauty and truth.
And also the discernment to feel in the body, you know, when something it's not truth, or something it's not real, or something it's distorted. So this visceral, this womb knowing that, you know, cannot be deceived. So she also, you know, when we sit in the throne of our being, and we keep coming back to this union between the heart and the womb, you know, and I mean, the heart, you know, it's, you know, will always find the purity in everything. Not always, but you know, the tendency of the heart is just to, you know, to see the purity and innocence, which ultimately, yes, everyone is innocent, you know, and
We
there's
are all light. Mhm.
yes, but you know, and it's also important to discern, you know, and to also um to come back to the womb, you know, and to know when, okay, this, it's not in alignment. So I don't want to go in right or wrong, but this is not in alignment with me. I feel, I know, even though that yes, that might be ultimately also from the light or from the divine, but it's not in alignment. So I choose to let that go, or that's not, you know, I don't walk that path, or that's not for me, or whatever that is. So discernment, to be able to discern in between what is, you know, what it's truth and
Yeah,
what's not. um,
that third eye vision activation, bestowing, yeah, power upon others in a way that is activating the light. And it's up to others whether they choose to walk the path of light, or sometimes I know in my early life, I did not at times. You know, it's natural for the soul's journey to not always be a direct path. Some people see clearly all their life, but it's possible for this light to, you know, to stray and go towards unlight and then come back to light. And just that discernment enables us to keep coming back to what is the next right step, right action for myself, for the good of all, for all people, all life. That's the path of the alchemist.
yes. So this image, it's also very, very beautiful. So take a moment to just gaze and see what you receive. As you gaze upon all the beautiful details that are present here, the feline energies, and here it's a nice quote, you know, which is, "She rages like Sekhmet and it's peaceful like Bastard." So again, here you can see a little bit of that dual or paradoxical nature of Sekhmet. And what I received in those years that I've been communing and connecting with Sekhmet is that so there is a triple aspect of her, which is Sekhmet, Hathor, and Bastet. So right now, in how I experience, you know, is that my life, she really comes as Sekhmet, and that's the particular, you know, frequency that is the most important. But it's nice to know that there is also this other aspect of her, you know, so as Hathor, this lunar goddess, you know, this compassionate mother that, you know, gives the cosmic milk to us, you know, so nourishing and you know, nurturing us. And then there is Bastet, you know, as this, you know, very sensual and um, um, you know, fertile aspect of her as well. So what I've received in meditation is that there's this triple aspect, you know. So Sekhmet being, this is my understanding and interpretation, Sekhmet being like the crone, you know, in this triad aspect, and then Hathor being the mother, you know, queen, and then Bastet the maiden. Although I feel that actually each one can also embody this three aspects, you know. So it's not okay, Sekhmet is the crone and Hathor is the queen. No, it can, you know, it can be that within, you know, Sekhmet, she's also the queen, you know. So it's just, and then I later came to, you know, in the studies to find out that actually other people felt the same, you know, people that have been also journeying in Sekhmet, you know, authors that write about it. So just to keep in mind that our focus today is with Sekhmet, but maybe she can come to you, you know, in a more gentle way as Bastet, you know, the cat goddess, or she can come as Hathor, the cow goddess, you know. So just also keep that in mind. Want to add something, Diana? No.
No.
Yeah, so here we are. So Bastet, Sekhmet, and Hathor, and it's said that they're the oldest divine beings in Kemet. And their unification, you know, the unification of the three feminine archetypes, maiden, mother, and crone, and that might predate the first dynasty. And then, I don't know how this works.
So these can be 3 keys for your own inner alchemy. They carry these, each one carries these codes that can activate and transform at different times within whatever process you're journeying with in your life. So we're going to just wrap up these transmissions, visuals, and then take a short break.
Yeah, here it's Ma'at in the center, Hathor and Sekhmet. Just gonna give one moment, take a look, and then we're stopping the sharing.
I love the filaments of light that are shown in that one, in between, but connect all. So that was a lot to take in. Just let it integrate, or write, the free flow write, take some something to drink or go to the bathroom. We're going to take a 10-minute break. And we'll see you back here. Yeah, I have 1:09. Let's just make it 11 minutes, then we'll come back. I guess that's Eastern Standard Time, what it is in Egypt. So see you in 11 minutes, wherever you are. As we get settled back into the circle, those of you off camera, just give a little nod that you're here, either in the chat or with a reaction or voice. Welcome back. Anka, are you here with us too?
I think not yet.
So, how's everyone doing?
Ah, she needs 1 minute. Okay.
Okay. Well, just as we come back, just take a moment to tune back into all that you've been receiving and overlap it in the context of your life, the path you're on, anything you're currently journeying with. If you haven't already woven it into that tapestry, see where the connections are made, what is illuminated within the landscape of your body and your psyche and your experiences in the world around you. We're going to spend some time together sharing a little bit and then doing some chanting and journeying and sharing a bit more. And I just want to let you know that, we will be gathering in a very similar circle going forward, probably with a little more sharing, a little more journeying, guided journeys in this sisterhood with the energies of Sekhmet and transformation and the times we're going through now across the globe. So the beautiful work you're doing in your body, in your psyche, sharing with your community now, is such medicine for the whole world. Thank you.
We would like to open the space if any of you would like to share right now. One word, more than one word, after this presentation, transmission. So you're welcome to mute yourself, or should I go around the circle? Or if anyone wants to begin. Okay, I'm just gonna go around the circle then. Okay, yeah, I type that. If you want to share one word or more, something you feel important.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you for welcoming me here. I'm on my phone, so it's a little bit, I can't do any chatting or anything, but I think mostly what I want to say right now is just how resonant and aligned this is with my journey. So to come in, just yesterday, I connected with Diana, and Diana invited me to this circle. And so to step in and have so much information come, so that's, I mean, and there's more than I could say, but so much information has come just entering the circle. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for that feedback. It's beautiful to see you here and feel your presence.
Thank you. Thank you. So,
Hi, Constance. Nice to see you.
yes. Yes, nice to see you.
I guess I just have like 2 questions. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay. On the video it said Sa, Sekhmet, Sahu, and what does that do, and like what is that?
That's the chant we're going to be moving into.
Oh.
And we'll go over in detail what each syllable means, and you'll be able to experience, firsthand what that does for you.
Oh, okay. Then the other thing was how do we use the Anki?
I want to answer that question with a question. When you look at it, when you feel it, when you hold it, what are you guided to?
I feel like it's a lot with my, like, especially with like Sekhmet, it feels like I have a solar disc in my chest, and it's like of light, and I've had a really hard time lately, but like with her, it just clears right up and like pulling out the poison, and it's just such a great feeling.
Oh, that expands my heart to hear it. That's so beautiful. And how do you use the Ankh when you're working with that?
Either like when I'm doing like guided meditations or something, I put it like over my heart. I feel like I work with my heart a lot, and because I've always had a lot of anxiety there, and it kind of helps unlock that. So also I like to put like crystals on it and play like it's a person.
Beautiful. Yeah, I feel like you're
night.
What was that last thing?
Oh, over my bed at night. I don't know why, but I just do that.
It's beautiful. It was the first thing I saw behind you. It feels like you're using it as the key that it is, and you're using it intuitively to unlock what you're currently working with in a beautiful way. And I would just continue to follow your inner guidance and remembering, because that's what we always have done from the beginning of time, right? So we don't always have to go to other people to find the answers that we already know, or what might work for others or might have worked for others thousands of years ago. It's going to work differently now. It's a different time. There are different energies. There are different things we're alchemizing.
Sorry.
So yeah, it's beautiful. Nicole, I'm sure you have more to add.
Yeah, I wanted to share something about the Ankh, because some time ago in ceremony, I received this vision that actually our bodies are like, well, I don't want to generalize this because this was a personal vision, but I listening to you, I feel like this is maybe important, and then you can see if that resonates or not. But imagining that your body is the Ankh, and then during this time, we are meant to be anking. Anking is the word that came forward for me, which means receiving, anchoring, and then broadcasting, you know. So like our body is, it's like it's this key, right? It's this anch. So, and then we anch the energy. So we receive this codes, you know, that are coming from the cosmos, from the earth. We receive that in the body, and then we anch in our body, and then we broadcast. So this is what it came to mind. Exactly, yeah. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I love what Diana said, you know, like you're using it already, and like what it keeps coming back is that like the mystery is revealing itself to us, you know, just like the wisdom within us keep awakening, and the wisdom we have from past, you know, lives, or even from our DNA, from our lineages. So, you know, maybe there's something else that in the coming days will reveal for you that you know, that the ankh can be used for. So
Yes, and it's beautiful. You came to that yourself putting the crystals on the ankh. You saw it as the body, you know, so that wisdom lives within you. You already know this and apply it to your unique self, your unique expression of your life and journey. And yeah, really beautiful. Thanks for sharing that with us. And as Anka shared also, if we close our legs and spread our arms, we really embody that form even more, or that form embodies us.
So I'm gonna name Gabby, just going around the circle here. And again, if you don't feel like sharing, then just give us one word. Anyone.
We can hear you a little bit, but if you speak up, it would be clearer.
Yeah, unfortunately, my headset is not working. I don't have a headset. So for me, what came up is this anger regarding not having allowed myself to be myself. So to be yes, to be independent from this patriarchy. So that's what came up, and it's not very pleasant. And I recently discovered that I am punishing myself because I am punishing myself. So this is another thing which I do to myself. And I'm journeying also with Lilith. I don't know if you feel the resonance, but I feel a resonance with Lilith. And the god, she's not a goddess, but still a very important myth, I think. And I felt a lot of resonance with her. And also with Mary Magdalene. Another important figure. So I felt like Sekhmet is like the embodiment of both. And yeah. So I can't really tell you more because it's an ongoing process. And yeah.
Thank you, Gabby, for naming and bringing the energy of Lilith and Mary Magdalene, and that pleasure of disengaging from the patriarchy and honoring the process that you're moving out of punishing yourself. These are the old paradigms we're menstruating and leaving behind. Thank you for sharing all that.
Thank you, Gabi. So, Cynthia?
Okay, out of the presentation, it was struck how uniquely suitable Sekhmet is for this point in history. I never, it's not someone that's like Isis or, Mary Magdalene and so forth. You never really think of Sekhmet. And I never did. And I was like, wow, okay. Because when she stepped forth along with Mott to mentor me this year, I was like, okay, well, I love Sekhmet because I had made her acquaintance. A friend of mine brought her to my attention, and I was like, oh yeah, the lion-headed goddess, okay. And then I happened upon your meditations on your website. Sacred pleasures at the beginning of my womb journey. Well, that knocked me out of my masculine energy. It was really a pivotal meditation. And I've been doing this for many decades. Incredible. And then I stumbled on Sekhmet. I forgot the name of that one, but all the memories just came flooding back. It was a total awakening. So she's been simmering there in the background. And now the Marys have left me, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, and Mother Divine, who have been with me for more than a year. And 2022 brought Sekhmet, Ma'at, and Kuan Yin, who's been with me forever. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting triad. Ma'at and Sekhmet, like, okay, Ma'at was really since the 90s, and truth was my mantra for the decade. And now truth and balance, we're in this balance mode now. Truth and balance are for me, each decade had like a quality. In the 90s, it was truth. In the first of this century, it was freedom. Last decade was peace. And this decade has definitely formed now, and it's balance, what I'm working on personally. I wanted to thank you for those meditations that you offer. I mean, those two were life-changing. I have never experienced anything like those two meditations in the 30 years I've been on this journey. Absolutely amazing. Because total masculine as I was, now more than a year later, it's like, okay, I can deal with the womb, the feminine. I might even be going overboard a little bit. But Ma'at brings me into balance. And Sekhmet, I have a very unique relationship with Sekhmet. It's like we share some secrets, and I can't wait to find out what they are, because this is a long history that I have with her and with Hathor. And also, now I'm very pleased to find that she represents the crone, because that's where I find myself now. I was like, I didn't know that. So anyway, that's my ramblings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. Wow. Thank you. I am so touched by your sharing. And yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, my heart receives all that you shared and witnesses all that you've been going through. And I love how you've given a title to all these transformations and journeys. And I love that Sekhmet has been simmering in the background.
Right.
Thank you for sharing all of that. And I'm so glad you've been able to get so much out of her transmissions.
Thank you.
Thank you all for weaving your magic and your presence into this container. Just taking a moment. I just want to breathe in and exhale all that you've shared. So many beautiful keys and touchstones and facets of this jewel. And Nicole is going to take us into this chant.
Not yet. One
Oh, is that
second.
not where we are?
No,
Sorry.
yeah, we have Ankara, and I don't know if Constance wants to share something. And
Oh,
actually,
Anka,
yes,
you
and
also have a transmission, a song you wanted to share, thing that you wanted to share. Forgive me, I got caught up in the energies everybody was weaving.
Yeah, that's fine. I can use a little bit of patience. So I just realized that since my 20s, I have tattooed on my skin the Ankh and the black cat together. And I'm in love with black cats since forever. And I know Sekhmet for a long time, but I never like had a relationship with her. I was more into Lilith and Pluto from astrology, all that. And today I felt a really, really strong energy while the images were present. Almost like not being able to speak, just being in there. And at one point I started chanting, some sounds wanted to come out. And I felt that it would be nice that I could share in connection with Sekhmet, whatever needs to come out, because this is also something that I discovered recently of being one of my passions and my joys. And I really didn't have the courage, and now I started having it. So it's an act of courage for me to say I have this and I want to transmit it. So I'm very emotional because of this. So I'm just gonna tune in to Sekhmet because I feel a lot of power, and I deeply resonated with the part besides the pleasure and the womb mysteries, with the dark part, that she's so fierce and so sovereign. And I feel that is also me. It's a really strong part of me that I can accept, embrace, and deal with the darkness very fiercely. But maybe I did not recognize that this in myself, full spectrum until now. So I'm just gonna let it out, and maybe you can feel it. Beloved Sekhmet, I'm here as your vessel.
Thank you, Anka. Very powerful.
Thank you, Sekhmet, for activating that powerful throat chakra and bringing that voice forward and touching every cell in all our bodies. Thank you. Thank you, Anka, for sharing that activation.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I felt like literally there was, due to the voice of Anka, somehow my stuck energy, I felt that it liberated from my whole part of my body. So it was like really powerful. So
Did you
like-
say the whole back part of your body?
No, the down parts,
Oh,
the parts, the wood parts of my body. Yeah, so thank you very much. I felt like it sucked out the energy. Yeah. So it definitely was a channeling.
Yeah, definitely. For me, it was the palms, my hands. It was very powerful. Thank you, Anka.
Wow. So, Constance, would you like to say something? Like, no? Okay. So we can move forward. And then maybe we have another sharing later. Thank you, Anka, was really, really powerful. I don't know if for everyone, but for me, the sound was coming out. Like, I don't know if it was for everyone, but that was like, I couldn't hear fully the sound, but I definitely could feel, Sekhmet essence coming through even with no sound, So yeah, I'm very touched. Thank you.
All right. And just, Cynthia, I'm going to ask you to mute just for there you go. I muted you. Just for the integrity of the recording. And as Nicole leads us into this next segment.
And also, I just want to briefly say also thank you, Gabby, for bringing up Lilith in Mary Magdalene, because actually not long ago I've received also this guidance that there is a relationship between Sekhmet and Mary Magdalene, which I'm still unraveling and trying to understand that. So thank you for, just receiving that and confirming again this. So I want to invite us for this next part of our time together to chant. Okay, so now that we come to Sat Sekhem or Sat Sechem, right? Sahu, which so what we're gonna do next, just to give a little breakdown. So we're gonna chant for 9 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you what does these 3 words mean. But first, just to give a breakdown, so I don't need to explain anything after. So for 9 minutes, we will chant. You're welcome to do it with your eyes closed. You don't need to think about how long we're doing. Obviously we're keeping the time. So you're invited to either do with your eyes closed and then just choosing one of those images of her that you saw in the presentation that you must connect, or you can do it with your eyes open, gazing into the flames of your candle. So as you feel, and then after this 9 minutes, which I'll be guiding you, then if you are with your eyes open, you will close your eyes and we're going to do a little guided journey, to connect with the body, and, you know, a little imaginative guided journey. And then that will call you back to opening your eyes. So however you feel, eyes open or closed. If the eyes open, just keep coming back to that fire, you know, looking at that flame. And then eyes closed, choose an image that you saw in the presentation, or any other image that you've seen of her that most call you, or maybe there's, you know, there's another way she's going to present to you, but the idea is to keep your inner guidance, to your inner mind into Sekhmet. So Sasekim Sahu, it's her sacred sounds, which in short means the breath of life, the sacred might or the sacred power, the realized human. So just to break down a little bit, Sa is the life force energy, the feminine Shakti that comes into the body at the conception and continues to animate our physical body with the breath of life. The element of air that fans the flames of our inner fire. Now, Sekhem is the power, is the rising Kundalini, often represented as a snake or dragon, that animates the spirit body. And when connected and embodied, Sekhem will open the doors of our spiritual consciousness. And then Sahu, it's our spiritual body, one of the many bodies, according to Egyptian cosmology. So for ancient Egyptian cosmology, there was a number of 5, total of 5 bodies. So Sahu, it's like the spiritual one, the spiritual body. I'm not going to get into the details of the other 5 bodies, but so when we are calling upon Sekhmet, we are asking, you know, to help us to awaken entirely, so we can integrate all that we are into our current embodied divinity, so we can become fully realized in this mortal flesh. So again, the short will be the breath of life, the sacred might, the realized human. So we are chanting, you know, again, this is what we know, what it means, but there might be much more that we don't know that might reveal to us, you know, to each one of you. So when we're chanting that, it's nice to remember that we are, you know, we are breathing this breath of life. So we might want to inhale and then we say Sa Sekhmet Sahu. So I will lead us into it, and I'm gonna just do it more in a singing way. I'm not really a singer, but I'm just gonna do more in a Sa Sekhmet Sahu. You do however you feel, and yeah, and that's it. Does anyone have any question before we begin, or no? Okay.
The key is to remember that, to place your intention and your focus on the resonance of each of those syllables. The Sa, you know, as you're saying it, you connect with the life. The Sekhem, then connect with, there's a sort of a cycle in the process of chanting, right? You're taking in the air, then focusing on that rising energy, and then the spiritual body, Sahu, and then you breath again, the breath. And so you can kind of fall into this cycle of energy flowing.
Yes, thank you, Diana. And you know, if for you it's difficult to kind of focus in all of that, so then just, it's okay, just stay with that image of Sekhmet and with the sounds, you know, and you might hear me that maybe sometimes I would say Sekhem and sometimes I would say Sekhem. It's just because I'm still adjusting to the shift. So yes, so let's begin.
Yes. Just trust and let it flow. If you get too caught up, just breathe and sound and focus on Sekhmet. Sekhmet.
Okay, so let's begin. So Put yourself in a comfy position, the side if you want to gaze upon your candle. On the
Before
sacred.
we begin, I want to ask if we want to all unmute, or do you want to remain muted? Okay, I'm getting.
I think because if we can unmute, but if we unmute, then the
Yeah,
Zoom moves
okay.
around. Do
Yeah.
you want to do between me and you, Diana? We do
No,
half
we'll
and
just,
half.
you do it, then it'll be clear and won't interrupt people's process.
We can also, I can stop at one point and you can continue then.
That's okay. We'll keep it clear, simple.
Okay. So
Okay.
let's just take a moment to, find that comfortable position. Gaze on your candle or close your eyes. And if you have your eyes closed, you can just, before we begin, just imagine that sacred flame. Feel that sacred flame in your heart, in your womb. And then begin to feel your connection to Sekhmet. Just calling an image, a depiction of her that you feel connected to. And beginning to breathe a gentle breath, the breath of life. That divine breath. As we get ready to begin, Sekhmet, Sahu, 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 Sechem, Sehu, 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 Sechem. Sahu. Sa. 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 Sechem. Sahu. So now take a moment to just feel the vibration of your words, of your voice, reverberating in your body, your physical body, in your emotional body, in your energetic body, in your mental body. And just feeling what is moving inside of you as you continue to gently breathe, gently feeling that sacred flame, feeling our beloved Sekhmet next to you, whispering in your ears messages, wisdom, codes, as you continue to notice what moves in your body, what awakens in your body, what is present in your beautiful sacred body temple. Just feeling your awareness descending from your mind down to your beautiful face, down to your neck, to your throat. As you just observe your body, your sacredness, feeling into your heart space, into your beautiful breasts, into your nipples, into your heart. Feeling your beautiful shoulders, your arms, your hands. Descending down to your solar plexus. Just feeling that beautiful sun, your inner sun. Feel the warmth, the radiating golden rays. It shines from within you, illuminating all the places that are still longing for love. Then descend down into your beautiful belly. Feel into your belly, breathe into your belly. Feeling all the amazing organs that work together in harmony within your abdominal area. And then come into your womb space. breathe and feel here. Feeling into your pelvis, your beautiful pelvis, sacred chalice that holds your upper and lower bodies together. Just breathe and feel into your pelvis. And come down to your yoni, in your anus. And breathe here. Breathing, feeling into the beauty of your feminine nature. Breathing down into your legs, down into your knees, down into your beautiful feet. Just feeling it touching the ground. As you feel into this energy that comes from the earth, this kundalini, this Sekhmet. And you breathe this Sekhmet from the earth into the soles of your feet. And you feel it rising, snaking in through your body. Awakening your own gentle kundalini energy, your own snake, dragon Shakti energy, allowing some sensual earth energy, some sacred pleasure to move through your body, rising up. Now up to your legs, to your yoni, to your womb. Up to your solar plexus. Up to your beautiful breasts and nipples, to your heart space. To your shoulders, to your arms and hands. And if there's any movements that your body feels like doing gently as you're sitting, to allow this energy to move through you, to melt away any resistance to your bliss, resistance to pleasure, to love, to life. Then invite any sounds, if there are any sounds that wants to be expressed, maybe a gentle sigh as you allow this energy to move through you. Just giving yourself permission to feel and express what you feel, if you feel comfortable. Just continuing to stay with your eyes closed and just feeling this energy moving through your body, moving through your cells, moving through your DNA. As you continue to feel the goddess as you continue to welcome her wisdom, her medicine, her alchemy. Just let her share with you what you're ready to know, what you're ready to feel, what you're ready to see. So for this next few minutes, I'm just gonna play a song and you're just welcome to continue to feel this energy move through you. Continue to commune with the goddess, with Sekhmet. Continue to be receptive to what she has to share with you today. So just take a moment to take a few breaths into your body. Feeling the floor, the ground beneath your feet, and feeling your body as you gently and slowly begin to bring your awareness to the room where you are, taking your own time to open your eyes, touch your body, to give yourself a hug, yes. To maybe rub your hands in front of your heart and touch your face or whatever you need to do. Gently transition. Maybe you want to write it down, any insights that you might have received. Maybe you want to write it in your notebook or a piece of paper. If there was anything. And whenever you feel ready, you may open your eyes. And if you have your candle, you can open your eyes and just look at that sacred flame for a moment. Just remembering that flame is within you. Maybe drink a sip of water. So I'm just going to give a couple of minutes for you to write down if you need to write down something. If you don't, it's okay. Just give it 2 minutes. So, or writing down any insights or drawing, doodling any insights. So 1 more minute. So, my dear sisters, we're gonna open for sharing. Diana, you have something you want to say?
Yes, what was activated for me was that perineum, that anus, that area of sacred sexual pleasure was activated, my yoni and clitoris. And it's just so beautiful to, receive this transmission of sacred pleasure and invitation to sacred pleasure. I've received many messages from her. That was the one for today. It's very nice.
Thank you. Someone else? Should we go around the circle? Okay.
I felt, or better said, first of all, I saw what I drew, but I drew it before we went into meditation. So it was like a black smoke first, and then the serpent, and then the ankh, and then the serpent on my back. And what has happened is kind of miraculous, even though I'm used to that, is for a long time, from time to time, I have like pain here somewhere. And I felt everything going there. And it was like a black ball. I've been working for some time with the masculine energy and some stuff from my lineages. And I felt that it was working there. Like knots were, how do you say, unknotted, unraveled, something like that. And it was about my masculine lineage. And now I have no pain left. And that big knot on my back is not there anymore. Hopefully it'll stay like this because it's been killing me for some time now. And I felt it has to do with some dark stuff from the past that really wanted me to shut up and not do my job. So it was very, very powerful. At some point, I just saw white and kind of passed out, but still conscious in between somehow. And yeah, fire all over my body. Now I'm very, very hot. I'm actually gonna take this off. Fire and spine. And she said, like smiling, very like looked at me smiling, and she said, soon, my dear. So I'm like, okay.
Sorry, what she said? Smile, then
Soon, my dear, soon.
Mhm.
Yeah. But a lot of dark shit went good this time. It was processed somehow. From the past, from something that was keeping me there. Yeah, I'm still gonna process it and let it sit and unwind.
Powerful work. And if it comes back, do some more chanting and tune into that image you drew, the transmission, and remember those song lines, right? We're weaving new patterns. So as we create new pathways, the old habitual ones are going to be alluring. They're it's going to be easy to slip back into old patterns. So just be gentle, all of us, gentle with ourselves as we transform and step into new ways and move into this new world we're envisioning and activating with our own energy. Just be gentle as we stumble, slip, and as those opportunistic energies, of anti-life, unlight want to restrain us, just keep persisting, keep returning, keep connecting with Sekhmet and all your helpers and guides.
Anka, can you show us again the drawing? I couldn't see it before. Can you show us a little? Yeah, a little bit closer. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes, I see the cat. Yes. Beautiful.
And at the end, it was like the connection with the earth, like with the
Mhm.
wind, with the earth. And then from here, it was a serpent and all the other things.
Thank you.
Beautiful. It makes me think about that anking process, right? It's like anking. Beautiful. Okay, thank you, Anka. So who is next? Yes, please.
Okay, so I used the Ankim, yes. And I have a little statue of her here. And so I had the candle, and then what I was doing was like taking it was like the energy was going from that to that in here, and then going down and then coming back up, and it was like a cleansing waterfall that felt like a clearing, like a huge clearing. And I'm just really amazed by what happened today. So thank you so much.
Beautiful fountain of life. Thank you, Constance.
Thank you. So, Gabby?
I didn't really see many things, but my whole body was shaking. I at the point I had to switch off the camera because I didn't want you to see I was shaking, I tried a lot to. So somehow what came up for me too is that I shut off the life force in me, so that I don't have to live or give birth. So yeah, so and this is the opposite of what Sekhmet does, and I felt like very calming and balming energy from her, and an acceptance. I felt like I was forgiven somehow for a sin somehow that I was punishing myself for centuries or thousands of years, I don't know. So somehow something got shifted. What I felt. Maybe it was very ancient time at a mystery school or something, and I just didn't want to accept these energies and these knowings. Maybe an abuse of power, I don't know, but I felt like she was forgiving me. And what I saw also is a naked woman who was riding a lioness. So she was riding the lioness naked.
Wow.
I haven't seen anything like that from the pictures that you showed. So it was interesting. it was at the point she was merging with this lioness. She was so powerfully, merging with the lioness in the end.
Mm.
So she became the lioness and half naked woman.
Mm.
And
So beautiful. Thank you for receiving that image and sharing it with us and sharing your experience.
Thank you, Gabby. Cynthia?
I just want to say to Constance, don't be surprised when you hear Nicole's voice, what happens. Don't be surprised.
What?
Because you said you were surprised. Your experience. I said, when you hear Nicole's voice, don't be surprised.
Okay.
And Diana, you're very similar to Nicole. I love the energy play between the two of you. I share your experience, Diana. It's inevitable going back into sacred pleasures. In fact, I was thinking all I need now is the sound of the Red Sea, the surf in the background. That was just the missing sound effects for that meditation. In my mind, I put it in. So I had that part of the experience also. And it made me remember the first time I heard that, first time I listened to that meditation, I was lying on the beach beneath the sun without clothes. And the surf and the water was just coming and caressing, washing over me, caressing me. And I had the feeling that it was making love to me also. And I was like, well, this is interesting. Like, okay. And then I'm going to go back to another incident, another timeline where I was a priestess of Hathor. And I like the Hathor Sekhmet connection. And I had been stoned within an inch of my life by some sisters in the town. And I was hanging by a thread, and I asked, my sisters from the temple, just to get me to the Red Sea, And I held on until they got me to the Red Sea. And when I was at the Red Sea, with my last strength, I took my keys and my codes and threw them in the Red Sea and basically cursed everything. Even my beloved Aten, which I think is one of the reasons why I was stoned. I refused to give up Aten. And it was just after the dissolution of Akhenaten's legacy, and I refused to change my name. I kept the Aten. So that was part of it. It was political. And then it was like, oh, that's what was happening when I was lying naked in the water and the water was caressing me. I was receiving my key and codes back. I mean, that was just so amazing. That's why I have a special fondness for that meditation and your voice. And then a little bit before that, I was in the womb with Sekhmet. She was embracing me and protecting me. In fact, she had been, this past year, she had been one of my protectors. And it's like, now I will take care of you. Now, it's like, you're mine. I will, do my duty by you. Previously, it had been Mother Mary in the womb with me. And now it's Sekhmet. And it was really tangible. It was absolutely amazing. And I'll stop there. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you. Wow. I'm speechless with this, all the sharings, ladies. Oh my goodness. The Red Sea. It's very close. It's very close here.
Just when you say Red Sea, in the beginning, when you introduced yourself and said you live, by the Red Sea, it swept through me. Something about the Red Sea.
I'm going to share something after when Aitabet will speak. I'll share something about the Red Sea because what you share now, it kind of makes a lot of sense to something I received before. So let's just continue the sharing and then I'll do my sharing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, everyone, for your sharing. There's not much I feel I can put words to beyond, I guess, the experience of the portal, of this, the sound and the sisterhood, the circle, and the portal that it has opened up. And how familiar, I think that's what I've been struck by there, that has sort of come through as this message. I mean, they're just so familiar to me, and images and a felt sense. I don't often think of myself, or I don't often feel I have a strong clairvoyant sense. I have a much more of a sentience. So when images come, it's hard for me to, I'm like, oh, I'm just making things up. But there's just such a strong sense of lifetimes and of being one with what's here. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Feeling the presence of Sekhmet in each of the weavings, the threads you all have brought forth. We all have. Thank you. Thank you for showing up and being in this Sekhmet circle with us together.
Yes, thank you. And I wanted to share something or a couple of things with you because it feels important. It feels not important, but I want to share. First is that my black cat has been under my feet this entire time. I have a little blanket with me and she just, they love to hide. So she's just down there. She's been holding the space here with us. And that's very sweet. But another thing I wanted to say is that, I had a very deep initiation this last week. Friday, I got sick with fever and consumed by this fire inside of me. You can hear in my voice, I'm still a little recuperating from whatever this was. But which that delay on, being sick, that means I had fever for 2 days. I couldn't promote, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't open my eyes because I had so much pain in my eyes. And so I couldn't promote this event, the way I wanted to. And then a couple of days ago, I just, I prayed to Sekhmet and I said, if this is meant to happen, then just we had one sign up, which was Gabby. I was like, if that's meant to happen, so then just, show me. I didn't even say show us, let me know. I don't know what I said. And then, then the next day, someone else sign up, and then here we are, the 7 of us, and then just listening to each of your sharing. I'm just like, I am so deeply touched, because, it's just the way things reveals and unfolds, living here in Egypt has been I'm here for 1 year, has been many, many deep initiations. And then this last few days, I just feel I was collapsing, in all the way possible. My cats, I have 7 cats. Today, 1 cat died, by the way. And, and they just require for, so much. And I was like, what, what? Like, what else? What else do I take? What else do I give? And just coming into the space, and witnessing each one of you and hearing your words, it's just like, okay, take everything from me. It's okay. It's all worth it because of this, because it's, I don't know how to put in words, but it's like that, it's we are resurrecting, and to resurrect, we need to let die parts of us over and over again. So yeah, basically that's what I just wanted to share, this little piece of magic of, that you responded to her calling. It's not even our calling, it's to her calling, and what you share here with us today, it's medicine for us as well. So I really thank you for weaving today, and for resurrecting your own gnosis, your own wisdom, when the codes they're necessary for us to continue weaving the tapestry, the feminine tapestry, because we're doing this together. And just to complete, as far as the Red Sea, in various different times, I've actually received this guidance, that there are so many codes and mysteries within the Red Sea. And in one particular meditation, when I was actually connecting with the entity of my business, Womb Bliss, my business was the Red Sea, I'm like, wow. And it was like, okay, the wisdom that it's there needs, it's like an ancient wisdom and mysteries that it's coming back. So when you shared that, Cynthia, for me was so interesting that you perhaps how many priestesses maybe did throw in the Red Sea their knowledge, and it's like, okay, this is a very interesting thing. And here in Sinai, there is one temple, only one pharaonic temple that belongs to the goddess Hathor, and it's not so known. So when you were telling me, take me to the Red Sea, I just immediately had this vision that you were in this temple, and from this temple you said, take me to the Red Sea. Because, from other places, it could be also in Luxor, because Luxor is not far from the Red Sea. So yeah, I just wanted to share this, this piece of information. Thank you.
Nicole, I wanted to say that, as I told you, I had a dream of you, and it was for certain when you were sick. Now I piece it together. And it's actually, you did promote this in that way, because I dreamt of you being in Egypt, and I was in Egypt with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I came here today, because after that, the second day, I saw the event. Mm-hmm. And it was no question, like, okay, I dreamt of her, she was in Egypt, so the event is here, so of course I'm going to be there. So even if you didn't tell me about it, or even if I didn't receive an email or anything, since we have a past together, we're connected, you promoted it. or she promoted it through you.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank
Yes,
you, Anka.
and whether we have a past together or not, we're all connected through the web, and that is what we're resurrecting: the light, the knowing, the connection, the womb to womb connection, and illuminating the soul and our fire, and that pure divine light that we are made of and are part of. And this is how we're going to, eventually not need Facebook and all of these, resources that are just carbon copies of the, what connects us all together. Everybody is being called to return to their, telepathic abilities, their boundaries that need to be learned around that, and respect and like integrity, just pure love energy. Thank you for the activations, the sharings. That's it's such a beautiful encouragement to, for us to continue the work that we're called to do, each one of us, whatever path in the world we are on, whether we're, a janitor or politician, lawyer, healer, etc. There's a beautiful unfolding purpose in the way we connect to each other and touch each other's lives.
Yes, and I want to invite you to continue chanting if you feel called, like in the days to come, if you're called to continue, this communion with Sekhmet. A very, very powerful way is through the chant, so, and let's bring this container into a closer, unless there's someone, Diana?
I'll just share the feline card I just pulled.
Oh, wow. Wow, DNA, flower of the tree of life. All-seeing eye.
So
Oh,
I can
Also, the DNA appeared to me now that you showed it. I remember that we saw the DNA in the meditation. It was blue.
So I'll share in an email the picture and the details for that secret language of nature.
Secret language of nature. How aligned, so beautiful.
And also, as we were preparing, Nicole pulled one of the transmissions we received during our Sekhmet's Gate meditation, which is a, over a period of days. And I went and also tuned in, after our chanting meditation, and the one I opened, because we would share it via email, was the same one that Nicole had already tuned into. And so Sekhmet wants this to be shared now. In her words, be receptive to the breath of life and my whispers. Inhale the abundance of earth and cosmos. Exhale the separation of duality. Release the old as you merge your heart womb with the heart womb of creation, softening in the infinity union of your solar and lunar alchemy.
What a beautiful way to close this container. Thank you, Diana.
Yes, we could share a bit more about Sechem Sahu.
Yes,
follow up.
yes.
We'll
Mhm.
send a follow-up email and that. And just to take a moment and feel your heart, scan your body, say hello, meet yourself in this resonance of awakening the parts of yourself, remembering coming home to yourself. The acknowledgement, the affirmation of your divine perfection and the processes we journey through, learning, expanding, remembering that our consciousness is far vaster than we have been led to believe. And that as we reignite our passion for this life, we transmit this knowing, we become a beacon, a lighthouse. Just stand in the power of your light. Bask in the warmth of that fire. Dance with the pleasure of that flame. Breathe in that breath of life. We thank you for showing up today. We thank all our ancestors, guides, and divine beings of light who weave this tapestry together, this container. The ancestors of the lands that nourish us. And the directions that orient us to center and the galactic womb from which all is birthed. Thank you, Sekhmet, for all the transmissions, all the guidance and wisdom and whispers, for reminding us who we are, for being fierce about illuminating that light within us, for protecting, showing us how to be fierce with our own boundaries. Keep showing us the way, allowing us to tune in again and again for what is our right next step on our unique individual soul path. Thank you. And with that, we close. Thank you very much. We'll follow up with an email, and we'll also include information about our ongoing circles, Sekhmet circle.
Thank you,
Blessings,
everyone.
blessings, blessings. Shine your light.
Mwah.
Lots of love.
Lots of love.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.